Hello, everyone. How are you? How are things going? Welcome to our new United World Week. There's almost 1,000, perhaps more of us here in the auditorium in Loppiano, the little town of the Focolare near Florence in Italy. We're linked up with loads of young people who are following us from all over the world. So here we have a little representation of United World. My name is Anna Chiara. I'm from Bergamo in Italy. I'm Eric from Burundi. My name is Joel in Mexico. We're here today to start off our annual event. United World Week, I can't hear you. So we're opening a window onto the world, and we want to highlight the projects run by Youth for a United World of the Focolare movement. All that's been going on everywhere. To tell you the truth, they're doing loads and loads of things, many projects. And we're going to start telling you today, and we'll carry on all during the week, to know a lot of different realities through cultural events, workshops, initiatives for solidarity. They're projects that arise from people looking around them, seeing the needs of their community, listening to the cry of the earth, and who want to do something and enable change. Change can start from an individual or a community and can affect public opinion. and generate processes that spread the values of care, peace and fraternity. So for the third year now, we've still got the slogan, Dare to Care. How come? Still, yeah, of course, because more than ever, we need to do something practical. We need to take care of others. We need to take care of the earth. So we can't pretend not to see things and just think of ourselves, stay in our small world. We want to take on the responsibility we have and do something. And it's better if we do it together. That's true, isn't it? So, Mariana, we already know the Dare to Care campaign, but it's just better to go over it again for those who don't know.
Hello, everyone. We need to remember that Dare to Care is a campaign to make people more aware and to bring about actions born from being aware. We can't continue to think only of our own problems in a local way, in a country where there's war or there's poverty. We're facing a social and environmental crisis that involves all of us. Together with associations and institutions, we've begun to carry out initiatives and that go against the logic of violence and egoism and exploitation by taking care of people. And we do this in our actions every day, beginning by simple everyday actions. Last year, we launched 2 big projects: the Seed Funding Programme and Greenclusive. Let's see now what's happened and where we're up to. The Seed Funding Programme is a programme of microfinancing of projects taken ahead by young people in their local communities, inspired by spiritual values. We're working for a year in every corner of the earth with 15 projects, from the Philippines to Argentina. For example, in Mexico and in Brazil, there are projects of economic help and development of the community, 2 of which are helping young people who've been on drugs. And also another project is about getting rid of and treating our refuse well. Also, zero waste. There's an educational trail going ahead in Uruguay. And this is one idea. Our dream is to support more and more young people in projects of ecology in the whole world. Greenclusive is a project that aims to support the ecological commitment of the new generations. It promotes people and has partners in Lithuania, Hungary, Slovakia, Austria, etc. The project supports Dare to Care, and it's the commitment of the new generations for ecology, and also gives formation and local actions. This is the camp that we had in Lithuania last year for young people from 13 to 17. After choosing what they wanted to do, they chose different ways of acting, and they learned that to do something for the environment, we have to cultivate everything. We also have to have big ideals and an environmental culture.
Grazie, Mariana.
Thanks a million, Mariana.
Ragazzi, scusate.
Hey guys, I am really excited about today. Just like every other year, because the our United World Week always starts on the 1st of May. And where are we? I can't hear you. Where are we? We're in Loppiano. And now it's the 1st of May 2023. And do you know when the first event for the 1st of May was held in Loppiano, when young people came from all over the world? It was 50 years ago today in 1973. So today is a fantastic anniversary. The title of this year's May 1st is Common Ground, Me, You and Us. Because we want to rediscover the value of care and we want to move on in actions for change and fraternity. So we need to rediscover the value of ourselves, of other people, and the relationships we can have amongst us. It's a journey that starts with me. Because the first step is knowing ourselves, taking care of our own self with all our limitations, but also with our potential and our talents. What do I want for me, for my life? We need to choose what we want to do. And from this comes the second stage. We go from I to you, to get to know others, to let ourselves be amazed by how wonderful they are, how they are like us, and how they're different from me, and to transform everything to motivation for reciprocal growth. How does my relationship with others affect my happiness? And lastly, us. What you're talking about, Anna Chiara, is really fundamental. It leads us then to make our contribution as individuals, but also working with others to trigger change, to act for the common good, to do stuff for our communities, our areas, our locality, and the world we live in. Everything can contribute to enable a more fraternal world, a more peaceful world, and this can make our life truly amazing. So, let's open this window onto the world and start traveling around the different countries. We're going to start from those who began with two simple questions. What do I want for me and my life? What can I do for my community?
Ciao a tutti.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carla from the Philippines. I've been here at La Piana since September. I study in Sofia University, and I'm really happy to be with you all today to share something of my experience. 2 years ago, I did a degree in economics, and I began to work in a little business where competition was very strong. I worked an awful lot, and I never had time for myself, for my own interests, and also for people who were near me. I had to give up so many things that were important for my life, and I wasn't happy. I couldn't manage to put together what I'd studied, economics, with the values that I have. They seemed to be too different from one another, and I felt very uncomfortable inside myself. So I decided to leave my job, and I had another experience with other young people, and I heard them talking about Sofia University. And I thought, that's the right place where I can find the answer to my questions. It was a big step, but I felt it would be the right choice. In Sofia, there are students from all over the world, different language, cultures, religions. Here, I live an experience of dialogue that's very strong. Living together and looking after one another, it's a great challenge, but it's possible. I think I'm finding the answers to my personal challenges and to the most urgent ones of the human family. In Sofia, I found a study course that helped me to improve my knowledge and skills that I already have, for me, in the field of economics, and it opens my experience to an interdisciplinary approach. At the beginning, it wasn't easy. I wasn't used to studying this way, but I think it's helping me to find a relationship, a deeper relationship with God. And the wisdom means I can see economics in its as it should be, without losing myself. And I've acquired many new talents. Now I've discovered a vision of economics as I imagined it, to be able to study and deepen this subject from the point of view of a circular economics that's brotherly and supportive. I'm still on my journey, but I think that together we can build the world that we want, a world that's more brotherly, more human, more united, each one unique as they are.
progetto che coinvolge giovani di diversi paesi
Together for a New
africani e mira
Africa is a project involving young people from different countries and enabling them to develop their own communities. For me, taking part in Together for a New Africa means
Questa
discovering my
iniziativa ci ha
talents
permesso di
and
rafforzare la nostra
skills.
identità
This helps
africana,
us to strengthen
di
our
ispirarci
African
ai nostri
identity
valori
and to
africani
be
e di
inspired
utilizzare
by
le
our
nostre
African
capacità
values and use
per lo
our
sviluppo
talents
delle
to
nostre
develop our
comunità.
communities.
Uno dei valori africani
African
che ha
Africanos que ha inspirado Together for Africa es Ubuntu, una palabra significativa que pone en el centro la humanidad a partir de la consideración de los demás hasta el cuidado del medio ambiente que nos rodea, comprendida la naturaleza. Desde un punto de vista ecológico y también en la tradición burundese, Ubuntu pone en relación al ser humano, la criatura llamada Ubuntu, con los otros seres vivientes y con la creación llamada Ibiribenka. Por lo tanto, estamos llamados a mantener un equilibrio entre el cuidar de los seres humanos
all beings, human beings and planet Earth. We know that a good leader can have a very important effect in protecting the environment and in integral ecology. We experience this through all the things we're doing in our organization Together for New Burundi, which began in 2018 and is inspired by Together for a New Africa. We contribute to promoting integral ecology through inspiring the inspiration of a leadership of communion. Having taken part in the second summer school of Together for Africa, I felt truly inspired by what Pope Francis said when he said, "Our sister Earth is crying." Why is she crying? That's why I thought of a new project, Tubeheza, which means let's live in a healthy environment. So in the struggle against pollution, I was chosen as an ambassador for Zero Plastic for the second edition in 2020 with the support of RC Retraining, a local NGO. We tried to recycle plastic in ecological panels, and we'd really like to have a new machine to be a little bit more effective. And we're planting trees in a local national park. We're also making young people aware of the importance of caring for nature. And we do this both personally and through social networks. The world around us needs to be protected. Protecting nature, we protect our own lives. I invite all of you, especially the young people, to listen to the cry of our sister Earth, because preserving nature means preserving life on Earth. So, protecting nature, we protect our own lives. That's what Mimi just said. We've seen how important it is to take care of others, also through care of the earth, which is our common home. We young people can truly be leaders in the development of our communities wherever we are. We don't do it alone. So from Africa, we'll go now to the Middle East.
Living Peace Giordania. Ciao a tutti.
Natalie and Rand. We're in a program, Dare to Care, and we've decided to have a project for the environment, and we went with Prince Omar to plant trees. At the beginning, we were a bit scared, but it was the first time. But we thought, no, we're part of nature, and we've got to try and plant those trees. At the beginning, it was difficult, but when we saw all the students from Jordan all planting those trees, this made us very enthusiastic that we could be part of this action. When we're stressed and we come out of nature, we feel the tranquility inside that the trees give us. We hear the sound of the trees, the song of the birds. And nature is so important for us because it increases oxygen for us. It helps the balance of the temperature and biodiversity. When we went back on the bus, we shared this experience with one another. And we were so enthusiastic to do the following years to see how the trees we planted are growing.
Sapremmo forse vivere nella dolce terra, ma quale vita?
Strade deserte,
Will we be able to live on this planet Earth? But what will it be like?
gocce di rugiada sopra ad una carabina, uomini e fiamme, baci alle mamme. Sotto al letto c'è un proiettile, una bambolina. Ma davvero tu vuoi dirmi che è domenica anche oggi? Oggi che in fronte ai miei occhi vedo macerie e non parchi giochi. Ma davvero non t'accorgi? Ho sognato una notte d'estate con armate proibite e un metro di sera dove chi s'avvicina non ti fa più paura. Ho sognato divise diverse, diventare le stesse, a colpi di colori e voci di bambini in braccio a padri vivi. Mi sei davanti, cosa ti aspetti? Pianti, rabbia, schifo attorno, cemento fuori, argilla dentro. Ma davvero tu vuoi dirmi che è domenica anche oggi? Oggi che noi ci incontriamo, qui non c'è scelta, noi ci spariamo. Fallo tu che non ci riesco, abbraccia poi mio figlio. Ho sognato una notte d'estate con famiglie riunite e un metro di sera dove chi s'avvicina non ti fa più paura. Ho sognato divise diverse, diventare le stesse, a colpi di colori e voci di bambini in braccio a padri vivi.
Grazie a tutti, grazie
Thanks, everyone. Thanks to Natalie and Rand and all the young people from Jordan.
Grazie a voi. Wow.
Che ha presentato un brano così delicato.
So we've heard this amazing song, which is called A Bullet and a Doll, which is the most recent song that Emanuele Conti has launched on the 25th of April, and you can hear it on all the digital platforms. And it really is like a hymn to peace. Emanuele, all that we are gathering on this stage today isn't very different from what you're trying to say to us.
In fact, I'm really moved. Thank you for listening. First, I thought we're talking about looking after the world and us. And I thought this piece is born from that idea. I really took myself into a context of war. And writing the first line of this song, I began to cry, even though I knew that I can't live it. So the idea that we can safeguard, we can look after the earth, beginning by loving one another. And so this is what matters from the outset.
Grazie a tutti.
Allora vi invitiamo tutti ad ascoltare
So We invite you to listen to his music on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. Thanks a million, Emanuele. So now our journey is going on to the sea, in fact, to the Pacific Ocean. From the Philippines, we're going to the Adriatic Sea in Italy. When we are fascinated by nature, we think easily of the sea, which takes up 71% of our whole planet. But with the increasing temperature and global warming and pollution and plastic in the sea, losing the coral reefs and excessive fishing, the whole marine environment is suffering. And all this makes us think about the impact that pollution can have on many different kinds of population. What can we do?
Hello everyone, I'm Evan from the Philippines. I wanted to share with you the projects that my community is achieving in Dumaguete, a little town, but very active and close to the sea. Every first Saturday of the month, we have a morning of clear up along the beach with adults and children. In my town, the conservation of the marine environment is a constant struggle against pollution. As a country that draws profit from tourism, it's very important that we preserve the quality of the sea and of the beaches that we offer to people. But at the same time, because it's one of the poorest countries of Asia, fishing is an important means of support for many. But with reduction in the number of fish, also the means of support are at risk. We thought we could look after the marine environment is a way of giving life for our people, because they need the sea to survive for their everyday life. So besides cleaning the beaches, we also plant mangrove trees in the water, in the swamp and muddy waters. And these are the natural places for the fish to be. And the trees, when they grow, they also are a natural barrier for the waves and against typhoons, which are a cause of great natural disasters. We also built some domes that act as artificial coral reefs with concrete funded by public and private organizations. We leave them for a couple of years, and then what grows we distribute in places where there are no more corals or marine life. Our battle is to preserve the life that exists underneath this water, but the interest of the government is that of continuing to build other buildings in the area without worrying about the environment. Also, the community where some fishermen live, they help us in this task. There's a social change of mentality and a collective effort to reach this aim. I feel that this experience makes us not only become active citizens, but also to be that hope on which many lives depend. So, with the aim of Dirty Care, my little community is continuing to go towards an ecological conversion to support our people and also for the life under the waters.
We worked on reef dome making, which is really interesting because back in Malta it's an island and it will be something cool.
It's in English.
So we actually, most of the Maltese group worked
It's English.
on that. So we're hoping that when we get back to our country, we're going to actually make some reef domes and maybe put them in the sea, figure something out from there.
One day during the geography lesson at school, our teacher told us about pollution and how horrible it is, and that the marine animals suffer and they get trapped in plastic. I was very sad about this, what our teacher told us. And when I went home, I talked to my mum, telling her that I wanted to create an association to do something about it. But she said there already was one that existed, and it's called Lega Ambiente. And so we decided to get in touch with them. Lega Ambiente told us that on a Sunday in May, they would do an ecological action. And so I told all my friends about it. I told the Gen 4 and I told quite a few adults. So then we went to the beaches in Ravenna and we gathered up all the plastic. That day was really lovely because I think it's very important to safeguard the world that God has given us. The day left everybody very full of joy, having done what a young child, Gen 4, asked us to do to care for creation. We were at the service of the community to understand if there were associations who could also help with what we wanted to do. It was an opportunity to make new friends and also to get in touch with the local authority, to have an experience together with different generations, across different generations.
We're going to play now. Everybody standing up.
Sì. Qualche tecnico ho bisogno. Prova. Prova 1 2 3 prova 1 2 3 prova mic test prova.
The mic isn't working for them.
Ah, sì, prova. Mi sentite?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Allora, abbiamo capito che il
So
pianeta ci sta
we
regalando
think the planet is giving us something very precious, water.
Siamo consapevoli
Are we aware of what it means using water, how easy it is to waste it? So let's play. The idea is, imagine you're in a sea.
ancora bollicine grosse.
At sea, if things, and the water's boiling, you've got boils all over you and the water's boiling.
Poi sale una nuvola.
And the cloud comes.
Su. E poi la pioggia.
And then the rain comes down.
E poi mi lavo la faccia.
And then I wash my face.
E poi mi lavo i denti.
I wash my teeth.
E poi mi faccio lo shampoo.
And then I do my hair.
E poi le onde.
And then the waves come.
Ok, bravi, con la musica.
So with the music, let's go.
Olè, ciao! Ah, adesso funziona.
Now it works.
Vorrei raccontarvi la storia di un ragazzo nato in Angola.
I want to tell you the story of a boy born in Angola in 1993 during the war, because his country, they just had elections for the first time, and though some people didn't accept the result of those elections, saying that it hadn't been free and just and transparent, that there'd been electoral fraud. The war ended when this boy was 9 years old. When he was 15, his father was poisoned and he died. He was 45. The reason for this was above all because someone wanted to take his role as being responsible for finance in the territory. So the mother had to look after the 9 children. Because they put many unjust conditions on her, she had to go so often to court to defend her rights and the rights of her children. But she won the process and she managed to guarantee a life for her children. After all this, she became sick and had a great depression and could no longer look after of herself. And she died in 2013, 89 years old. One of these 9 children are me. I'm the third one. I'm called Kasu Chasusanga. I'm an economist and now I'm 30. I was born in a Christian family that taught us to put God in the first place. And I'm sure that this choice is what saved my life. An experience I remember is that of having heard the protection of God when, in an unjust way, I'd lost the possibility of continuing to study because of the corruption of the people who should have given me the check from the state so I could study. For 6 months, I couldn't study, and for me, this was a great suffering. At this point, I made the choice to accept everything that I was living as a way that God was using to reveal to me that He is still present in my story. And I had the call for a really good job that then gave me the possibility to finish my studies without problems. There are 2 sentences of scripture that I keep in my life. I will reveal myself to the one who loves me, and St. Paul, who says everything works together for good for those who love God. There have also been moments of darkness when I thought that everything started in me and ended in me. That I became like a slave of myself and I lost my peace. In my country, it's very often to find situations of suffering. And in face of these situations, we feel the desire to really do something. One of the things that made me choose economics was this. Today, I'm an economist, but not of any kind of economy, but of the economy of Francesco, of an economy that puts the human person at the center and it makes the preferential choice for the poor. I thank you for listening to me. That meant I could share some points, some elements of my story that is continuing to be written. There are so many points, these experiences that have made me feel the desire to give my whole life to God and to my brothers and sisters who I meet every day of my life. In this way, it's the fulfillment of my name. Chakusanga means I have found you.
Ciao a tutti, sono Zuzana Ozuska. Sono un agente degli Stati Uniti, ma in questo momento studio a Breslavia, in Polonia.
I'm a gent from the United States, and I'm studying at the moment in Poland. I came here today to try to react to a problem, a situation that I see happening in the world. It's something I saw recently, and it's something I want to change. It's the way we ignore people, we neglect them, whether it's a family member or a friend or a stranger, because we're so taken up by our own lives and by our own problems that we forget sometimes that there's someone nearby who needs just a few minutes of our time in which we can ask them how they are things going at school, what's happening, and I think that this could change their whole outlook and also on their day and on the situation that they're living through. And it's really good to be able to listen to people. It's something I've experienced very recently, and I'll tell you about it. After school, my friends and I were going for a coffee, and we were in the center of town near the university. While we were going along, we saw many people who were homeless. They don't usually create a problem, but sometimes they ask you for money or something else. And usually we try to ignore them and just get on with our lives without really taking any notice or saying anything. But I had an experience when I met a man who was younger than me, who didn't ask for money or anything. But I saw in his eyes that this person actually needed to be listened to. And no one was paying him any attention. I had a fantastic experience when I started talking to him, and in the end I invited him to come and have a coffee with me and my friend, saying that I would buy him one. We had a beautiful conversation while we were at the bar, and he said that it had been a very long time since he'd had a hot cup of coffee. He told me that not many years beforehand, he would have had the age when he wanted to study, but different circumstances led him to the circumstances in which he was in now, and he couldn't study. But I saw a light in him, and I saw that he needed to speak to somebody and to feel that somebody was truly listening to him. And no one had been able to offer him this before. But in the end, I lived a moment of friendship with him, and he then wished me well for my future and my life. And he even said he would pray for me and my studies. This changed my outlook, and it opened my eyes on how important it is to see this love in my neighbor. And this is something I'm taking with me as I go ahead in life, and I hope that you can do the same with the people around you and see their needs.
Dire di no ai consigli per consumatori, dire di no e far di tutto per restare fuori, dire di no alla smania di filarsi al rosso, dire di no all'arroganza che portiamo addosso, dire di no e saltare fosso, boomerang, boomerang, effetto boomerang. Farcela anche senza ismi, senza talk show, all'invadenza dal protagonismo, dire di no alla plastica buttata in terra, alla vita, all'incapacità di stare senza, dire di no all'inutile violenza. Boomerang, boomerang, attenti a boomerang, boomerang.
Poi controcorrente, dire di no e non fare più finta di niente, dire di no perché tutto addosso poi ritorna, dire di no per avere un mondo ancora in forma, dire di no e resterà un'impronta. Boomerang, boomerang, attenti al boomerang.
return. The loyal boomerang will take its turn. Give out hate and you get burned. The loyal boomerang will take its turn. When you get love, you get return. The loyal boomerang will take its turn. Give out hate and you get burned. Boomerang, boomerang, attenti al boomerang. Boomerang, boomerang, sulla testa arriva il Grazie.
Thank you.
Na 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 yo, na 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 yo, na 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 yo, na 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 yo. Dire di no.
Say no. Say no.
Dai, applausi.
We need an applause here.
Dire di no.
So say no. And don't pretend that nothing's gone wrong. Say no to have a world that's better and a good state to live in. Because when you give love, you get it in return. Just like a boomerang. So huge thanks to Generoso.
Grazie a tutti, ragazzi.
Thanks to them and these young people who did the choreography to this song from 1995, which is really up to date. And we also need to remember The Reason, which is Generoso's most recent album, launched just a few days ago. Yeah, sure. It's 13 songs which express the emotions of humanity today, from fear for a future of ecological disaster, to war, to hope for a world, a united world filled with peace. So the reason is the choice to be peace builders. You can hear this on all the platforms of Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, but also on all their social networks. Thanks to all those who danced from Dance Lab. So, I think this window onto the world is really wide open now. So, what do you think?
Stiamo facendo entrare anche
through this window, there's a lot of beauty to be seen and a lot of interesting suggestions of things that we can do ourselves in our own cities and towns. Tell me. So, up to now, we've seen a lot of practical actions and projects. They're really good, fantastic. And they make me think about what it is that I can do every day. And so then I think to myself, well, what do I do to care for the environment? Did it ever come to you that you don't know how to sort and recycle waste? Do you do that? What can I say? It's difficult. Sometimes I leave the lights on. No.
Mamma mia, scusa.
I'm really sorry about that. That's not right. We need to do something. Perhaps we need a bit of advice. Yes, we do need advice. We've seen from the experience of our African friends from the Philippines. It was not just to do something in our own little town, in our own little place, but to do something really bigger in the world, not only in Loppiano. We can also go to Burundi. So we need everybody. We can't expect change to happen automatically. But
EcoGive, an app for saving energy and safeguarding the environment, a concrete contribution for the survival of the planet and of humanity. But let's take a step back. The project Dare to Safeguard the Environment Online was born in 2008 on the inspiration of a teacher to put together safeguarding the environment and solidarity, because we can't look after the environment without looking after the human person. They've got to be all part of the ecosystem. In 2012, I got a prize, Green School, from the Ministry of Instruction. In 2019, 5 schools already involved in this project have formed an institutional network. The project is in line with the aims of the Agenda of 2030 of the United Nations, aiming to fight climate change, provide quality education and eradicate hunger. The students of the different year groups, guided by their teachers, are trying to form this link between people and nature and to act in a more respectful way for nature. Last year, thanks to the support of New Ways for a United World, the project developed also on an international level. And this year, EcoGive is born, an app developed, and it's available in all the app stores for everyone, young people, students and schools, but also adults and associations. Dare means to bring about a cultural change that involves decisions and our way of acting. At the center is the pact of energy saving and safeguarding the planet. We want to make 200 acts of safeguarding for the environment in wherever we are. Turn off the light when you leave a room. Turn off the tap when you don't need it. Or use rainwater. Don't waste food. Give food waste to the animals. Waste sorting. There's 3 ways of counting of the actions that we do for energy and water that we save. Through the gifts, our commitment for the environment, every act of saving energy and safeguarding the environment is transformed into an economic support for activities of solidarity in places most affected by climatic change. If we're ready to commit ourselves seriously and give of what's ours, we're certain of contributing and giving a new direction to history and build a better future of support and peace. Hello, everyone. We're 2 students from the Scientific Grammar School Keplero in Rome. And together with our class at school, we decided to adhere to this project of EcoGive. I'm Syria and Gaia. If you were to say, why should we change? What would you say? This project helps us to understand, to ask ourselves, and to find solutions so that the personal commitment of life of every day can be real and can be really inspired. What do you think? I like the aim of this project because it's spreading basic ideas, especially among young people. In fact, there are more than 15,000 young people have adhered to this project. What do you think? What are we doing, really? It's teaching us to develop a greater awareness concerning the impact on the environment, also by simple actions every day. But what can we usually do? What do you do? My commitment is above all in saving energy and water with simple acts like turning off the tap when I don't need it, or using the sunlight whenever I can and don't need to turn on electric lights, but also in recycling by limiting the use of plastic. Also, I prefer to walk to school instead of driving, and also I make sure that we really differentiate all the rubbish, and I turn off lights when I leave a room. There are lots of tiny little things, but they can really make a difference, and they can help us to save our planet. And because of this app now, we can also keep a record of all these actions that we do. In fact, we've always got our phone in our hand, and every time we do something to save energy, we could mark it there. Instead, before, we had to write it all on a card. Now it's much easier. Now it's much easier, and we're supporting the same project as last year, that of reforestation in Haiti. There are 3 schools that are cultivating seedbed to go against the deforestation. But that's not the only project. But there's also many others made for every country. Also in the Philippines and in Brazil and in Burundi. But I think we talk a lot about the environment, but what can I do? And so we always risk that we can just think, I'm not going to make any difference, and get discouraged. EcoGive wants to really support us and to make us understand that the little things we can do will make a difference. And so drop after drop, each one of us can really one day make a huge ocean. So we invite you to download the app and see how much you can save.
Hello, everyone. I'm Arnold from the Focolare movement, and I also belong to Plan for a Green Society. I'm translating this into English. I don't know whether you can hear it directly or not. We're here at Nayabula in the secondary school of St. Thomas for a workshop on ecology, and we've talked a lot about the cry of the earth, on how we can take care of the environment, on the potential that the environment has. So after the sessions in class, some of the students have planted trees by the school to learn how to take care of the environment, whereas others in a different place are gathering up bottles and waste matter from the ground, and they're really enjoying themselves doing this. Now let's see what's going on and what this project is about. I've learned about the importance of the environment. If we protect the environment, we protect ourselves. I've learned how to teach my neighbors about the importance of the environment and how we can do so many things to protect it. What I've learned today is how to protect our environment, and that we mustn't throw rubbish everywhere, and that when we find rubbish, then we can pick it up. I've also learned how to plant trees, both in a theoretical way and practically way. We've done it. So I know how to plant trees and look after the environment. What I'm going to advise my friends is to do this in order to live well and care for the environment, to defend the environment, also to safeguard people, animals and plants.
Ciao tutti.
Hi everyone. So in this second stage, I want to thank the students at Nayabula for having shared their impressions on all that they have learned. I have a great deal of respect for what they are doing, and they're doing a great deal, as we saw in the video. Let's stay united as one, taking care of our environment wherever we are.
Ciao!
Mi chiamo Giulia.
Mi chiamo Santi.
E facciamo parte del progetto Living Peace nel liceo scientifico Galileo Galilei di Catania, in Italia. Alcuni giorni fa abbiamo fatto il plogging, un'attività sportiva che nasce pochi anni fa a Stoccolma e che mette insieme 2 azioni: correre e raccogliere. Fare sport raccogliendo la spazzatura che troviamo nel nostro percorso. È stata una mattinata di inclusione e cura dell'ambiente e del prossimo, un vero successo, come lo ha definito un docente che era con noi. Abbiamo visto i nostri compagni impegnarsi in modo serio e sincero, andando ben oltre il compito loro assegnato. Si sono adoperati a raccogliere e differenziare rifiuti, denotando un altro senso civico che ci fa bene sperare. Inoltre, abbiamo coinvolto le persone che abbiamo incontrato per strada, facendo loro delle interviste.
On the street, telling them what we were doing and explaining what is plugging, and we invited them to do the same thing. In the end, we sent an email to the Director of Politics for the Environment in Catania asking if we could interview him, saying that on this occasion we wanted to present to him our experience and to suggest that plugging is suggested to everybody for the Day of the Earth. A few days later, we interviewed the Director of the Office for the Environment in our province, and he said he replied with a lot of care and a lot of passion. The manager was involved in putting more waste bins and places for cigarette butts everywhere, and to raise awareness through signs and posters to make people more aware. In the experience of plugging, we told everyone about it, and she produced leaflets for it, and she said she would give us gloves and bags to be able to collect up the rubbish. And we suggested plugging for the city and for the schools. And we thought of achieving a project for the 3rd of October called the World Habitat Day. This, at the end of the meeting with the director, we threw the ecological cube. And the sentence that came out was, put into practice the 3 R's. And so we committed, all of us, to live it with greater attention. The manager emphasized the importance of committing ourselves in reducing rubbish. When the meeting was over, we students decided to modify a sentence on the ecological cube, adding the sentence suggested by the manager and giving it for her office and for the other officers that offer services there when we went to collect the gloves and the sacks.
How amazing to see all these 50 years of 1st May in all these photos. This event was very important for me personally too. My name is Daniel, I'm from Italy, and I'd like to tell you about 3 particular moments when the 1st of May was very important for me and really set me off to search for something more authentic and mature that I could do as a grown man. So I'm starting from 2017. I'd already been to the 1st of May before then, but that year I felt that a beautiful experience like that had to be shared with my friends, people of my age, and in particular that those who needed to know and breathe this atmosphere of fraternity. So I invited Ola and Kaba, 2 migrant boys, youth, young men, who I'd met. One of them was in my football team, and the other was in a farming business that my mother runs. They were really thrilled about it. The title that year was Pulse, there's only one beat, and they felt representative by a beautiful witness of a Muslim imam, and they were really moved by the flash mob we did on peace and being open to others. at the age of 21, in fact, bearing witness to the fact that fraternity is possible and tangible, gave me personally great joy. So after that 1st of May, I carried on serving and helping out in various social and youth centres. But then there was normal life. In the following 3 years, I finished university. I started to work as an engineer. But I wasn't really very satisfied with my work, and I started to do a lot and dedicate myself very much to music. Then the pandemic came. But after, to conclude this period of great unhappiness, as it were, I was once again here at Loppiano, aged 25. And I was singing then at the time, and I sang one of my own songs. Was music my path in life? I asked myself this and many other questions that didn't always lead anywhere, like the song that I never actually recorded. I wasn't satisfied with my job, and then I began to have doubts about all the work I'd done with young people and the social issues in the past. They made me happy, but I felt I was called to something different, something that I could do, but not alone, but only me. Meanwhile, I had responded to the Pope's invitation to get together with other young people to set the foundations of a new economics, the economy of Francesco, with the Pope, Francesco meaning the Pope, and the saint from Assisi, Francis. So behind the scenes of this stage with masks down, I remember how many things came clear to me, and how many things were to be perfected in life. So now that brings me to today, to this my story, and to this 1st of May. This adventure that needs to be perfected all lifelong, which doesn't simply mean offering a service, nor does it simply mean working what we have to do, but it means believing that doing something, or what only I can do courageously, is the biggest service that you can give. And so now we come to this 1st of May, here and now. I wanted to tell you that during these opportunities, social voluntary service that I did, I spoke to a friend about a dream of mine, which was to launch a platform which would give music as a gift to others. But then I set it aside because it wasn't very clear to me. But my friend, this girl, had listened very well to me, and afterwards she said, "But let's try it. We can try. Let's try." So together with her, who then became a co-founder, I prepared to leave my work, even though I'd actually been offered a better job there. And I became, like that Francis, a beggar, as it were, because we realized that not even the two of us can manage this, to fulfill this aim, this dream. But we really do try to free up the potential and the relational aspects of music. Our mission is to appreciate the work of artists and invite people to be closer to people also through music, and also through the language of music, mixing words with what we care about our friends. And so this actually, with a lot of dedication, a lot of effort and poverty of spirit, what we have just founded a few months ago is TuneHey. So in this 1st of May, for me, now that I'm 27, I can bear witness that I've chosen a narrow path, which I believe today is the one I am called to follow.
Essere servizio né col servizio
So,
né col canto.
to be at the service, not just to serving and not just with songs, but to doing all my part, which I ask you to participate in. We believe that there is no better place or no better people than you to start this revolution in music and relationships. So if you register today, you will have a free gift to give somebody. I invite you truly to understand and discover what is your way to be of service in the world, and above all, to accept the love of others and the help of others to fulfill it.
Realizzare l'amore degli altri,
So
accettare l'amore degli
we need
altri
to
per
love
realizzarlo, ma
others, to
intanto potete
accept
voi
love from others,
fare il primo
but you
gesto
too
di
can
cura
make this
verso gli
first
altri,
gesture
anche
of
con un regalo
care
su
towards
Q&A, a
others.
partire
And
dalla
you can
playlist speciale
give
Common Ground,
a
che contiene
present starting
anche
from
la
the
canzone
playlist
di
called
Emanuele Conti
Common
che
Ground,
abbiamo
which is the
ascoltato
song that Emanuele Conti sang earlier. So you can give this song to others.
Dopotutto,
After all,
se non un dono, far
what
vivere
is it
anche
if
agli
not a
altri
gift to enable other people to experience the beautiful sounds that we hear at Lo Piano, and that can also help us to do many things together?
Wow ragazzi, bellissimo.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Siamo proprio chiamati a diffondere la
We
bellezza.
are called to spread beauty. If we look at the world, today we see a lot of suffering, desperation, but we still want to take care of it. So in addition to the Dare to Care campaign, we will follow on with Embrace Humanity, Spark Change. Embrace Humanity, Spark Change. And everything starts from the way we can look at our own personal life, the way we see other people, the community we live in, our house, our home, work, and the whole world. We need to think of our life as a work of art. This is the pathway and the commitment for the coming year. We've traveled around the world and listened to people from different languages and cultures. And let's not forget that we are united, all amongst us. Today, from this stage, we've opened a window onto the world, and we will continue to keep that window open in the coming days, so that the United World Week, because United World Week has just begun, and there are a lot of different things awaiting us. So let's have a look now at the list of events happening all around the world. But we can keep up to date on the United World Project website and on social networks. And we can also share what we are doing with the hashtag UWW2023 and hashtag Dare to Care. I want to remind you that there are two big appointments where young people will be gathered to witness to this desire to be together and not to stand still, but to do something about the world. The first is the World Youth Day. So the World Youth Day will be held in Lisbon, in Portugal, from the 1st to the 6th of August 2023. With the title, Mary got up and went in haste. It's the biblical phrase chosen by Pope Francis to encourage young people to get up, to go out of our comfort zones and to act together to bring light and beauty and change for the good of all peoples. And the second appointment is the Gen Fest. And the Gen Fest will be held for the first time in Brazil. It's going to be held in the city of Aparecida, in the state of São Paulo, from the 19th to the 21st of July, 2024. And the subject is Together in Order to Take Care. So we've got something to tell you about. A first coming up on the occasion of the World Youth Day in Lisbon. Gen Verde will launch their new single on the 5th of May, in a few days' time, and they've sent us a greeting.
We're not physically with you because we're traveling towards Romania, where we'll meet many young people. We're very happy to be present with you with all our hearts, but also with this video, we want to give you a tiny taste of our latest production. The song Girl on a Mission, the Magnificat, that will come out on all platforms on the 5th of May. The theme for the World Youth Day, Mary got up and went in haste, and this is the inspiration for this song of ours, which we'll sing in English and in Portuguese. We wanted to be a dialogue with her, with Mary, who was pregnant with Jesus, and she went to her cousin Elizabeth. So this part of Mary's story, we're on tour often, we're traveling often, and we want to give the hope of the gospel to many people. Mary's a model for us, and she can be for all those who live and work for a world that's more just and who have big dreams, like you. Enjoy it, and we'll see you soon.
Bellissimo, bellissimo.
That was great.
Insomma,
So,
non prendete impegni quei giorni.
don't do other things in those days.
Quello che sperimentiamo oggi
What we're experiencing today at Lopiana will be even bigger in Lisbon in this August and in Brazil next year. So we'll say bye for now, but we'll be in touch through all the platforms of the United World Project to keep on going on this path. Enjoy United World Week. Thank you.